All right, tonight we're going to look at the questions we did in class today, just to review for the EOCT. Remember, the EOCT is going to be the 22nd, which is 2 weeks away. The first one wants us to rewrite the third root of 2, so our base is going to remain 2. And our exponent is going to be a fraction, and the denominator has to be the same thing as the root. So that's the bottom number, 1 over 3. So that would give me answer choice D. Number 2 says factor the following expression completely. So that means I want to find things that multiply to give me 9x squared minus 49y squared. So I'll draw my parentheses. How can I get 9x squared? It's going to give me 3x times 3x is 9x squared. And how do I get negative 49y squared? Negative 7y times positive 7y. So that would give me answer choice B. Number 3, Kendra is ordering a bird from an online pet store. The online pet store only sells white birds with blue or green markings and yellow birds with brown or black markings. The website states that the probability of getting a bird with green markings is 2 over 13. What is the probability of getting a bird without a green marking? So that means that it's going to be everything but the 2 out of 13. So I'm going to say 1, subtract 2 out of 13 is going to give me 11 out of 13. Everything but the green. So that would be answer choice B. Number 4, the boundaries of Harold County form a parallelogram. The county has an area defined by B, the length of the base of the county in meters. The area function is shown below. C of B equals B squared minus 25B. I could factor that. So I'm going to write B times B is B squared. And B times negative 25 is negative 25B. And to find the area, I multiply the B, the base, times the height. So I know if the base is B, the height is the base subtract 25. So that would mean the base would be bigger than 25 meters, bigger than the base. So it says A, the base is 25 meters more than the height. That would be true there because you have to take 25 away from the base. 5. Line ST is perpendicular bisector of PR. Prove that point S is equidistant for point P and R. And we want to complete which of the following is reasons for the proof. We want to fill in statement 2. And which says PQ is congruent to QR. Alright, so I want to fill in the reason here. Would I say perpendicular segments form angles of equal measure? Well, PQ and PQR are not angles. So that one's out. B, perpendicular bisectors form congruent right angles. Again, statement 2 is not talking about angles, so that one's out. 3, a bisector divides a segment into 2 congruent segments. And statement 2 says PQ is congruent to QRQ. So that would be what we're looking for. We have 2 congruent segments. Number 6, which of the following functions is equal to the cosine of 56? It might help if you draw a right triangle. If you put 56 degrees here, you know this is a 90-degree angle. So to find the other acute angle, you would have to subtract 90 minus 56, which is going to give you 34. So I know the other acute angle has to be 34. So then we could say this side is A, this side is B, and the hypotenuse is C. So cosine 56 would be adjacent over hypotenuse. So that would be A over C. So which of these is equal to A over C? So if I look at answer choice A, that says that the sine of 34, let's look at angle 34. Alright, if I find the sine of 34, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so opposite would be A over C. So those would have the same values. Number 7. Is triangle XYZ congruent to triangle JKL? Well, if I look at the triangles, they look like they're the same size and shape, so I would say, yes, they are congruent. So that marks out answer choice B. Now, let's look and see which one it is. A, yes, triangle XYZ was reflected across its side YZ. So that means I would have to reflect it here, so it would become down here. I would draw it right down here. And then translated 4 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 3 units up. But if I go 1, 2, 3, therefore it would be like this, and that's not the triangle we're looking for. So let's look and see if it's going to be answer choice B, or it's not B. C. Yes, triangle XYZ was reflected across its side YX, which is this side here. So that means it's going to come like this. And it was translated 4 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 3 units up. 1, 2, 3. So that's still not exactly where it's supposed to be. So I would say it's not C. D. Yes, triangle XYZ was reflected across the side, which is already turned over, and was translated 3 units to the right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's back up. What was wrong? Okay, let's look at C. Yes, triangle XYZ was reflected across its side YX, or XY, which is here. So that would make it go. And was translated 4 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 3 units up. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to make it be right here. So this would be my answer. Number 8. What is the equation of the circle with a center -5, -7, and a radius of 2? This is where we need to go to our formula sheet. I've pasted part of it here. Here's our circle. Remember, we take the center, which is H and K. We change the sign, so that's going to become +5. And this one's going to become +7. And I'll also have to square the radius. So if I square 2, 2 squared is equal to 4. So I'm looking for +5, +7, and 4. So the answer is D. Number 9. If the height of a cone is H is 17 and the diameter base D is 14, what is the volume of the cone? Again, I need to look at my formula sheet, which I've pasted right here. Here is the word cone. We're looking for volume. So it says 1/3 capital B times H. Now remember, capital B is the area of the base. So I need to find my area of the base, which is a circle. So that's going to be pi times r squared. And if my diameter is 14, that would make r 7. So pi times 7 squared is going to give me 49 pi. So I'm going to substitute 49 pi in for capital B. So 1/3 times 49 pi times the h, the height, and it tells me that my height is equal to 17. So I get my calculator out and I multiply 1/3 times 49 pi times 17. And that gives me 833 over 3 pi. And the last one for today, the center of circle is a K, and it shows you that this central angle is measures at 40. So that would make the arc equal to 40. It wants to know the measure of angle STR. STR is not a central angle. So the rule is the angle is equal to half the arc. So if the angle equals half the arc, half of 80 is equal to 40. So there's my answer. All right, we'll do some more tomorrow in class. Make sure you go over these, and any questions you have, let me know. We want to do well on that EOCT.